Snowflakes danced in the cold night air as tires screeched against the icy road. A car spun out of control, crashing into a guardrail before silence swallowed the sound. Inside, a woman gasped, pain shooting up her spine. Her trembling fingers reached for the door handle, but nothing worked. Panic flooded her chest. "Please, don't hurt me. I can't walk," she whispered, her voice trembling as a shadow appeared outside her shattered window. The figure moved closer. Broad shoulders, messy dark hair, and eyes that looked both fierce and kind in the dim headlights. "You're going to be okay," the man said, his voice deep but gentle. "I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help." That was the night Evelyn Hart, the cold, untouchable CEO of Hart Industries, met Ryan Blake, a single father and ex-paramedic just trying to survive another hard winter with his little boy. Neither of them knew it then, but that moment in the snow would change both their lives forever. Evelyn had always been known as the Iron Woman. No emotions. No weakness. A billion-dollar empire built on her discipline and control. But control vanished that night when her legs were crushed in the wreckage. The doctors said recovery might take months, maybe years. Ryan had brought her to the hospital himself, staying long after he should have gone home. She didn't even know his name until he handed her a blanket and said quietly, "You can rest now. My name's Ryan." His clothes were worn, his hands rough from hard labor, but his eyes carried warmth she hadn't seen in years. The next morning, when she woke up alone in the hospital room, she saw a little drawing taped to her bedside, a stick figure woman with crutches and a smile. Underneath, a note in a child's handwriting read, "My dad says you'll walk again. Don't be sad." It was signed, Ben, age 7. Something inside her cracked. 2 weeks later, Evelyn was discharged, but she refused to go home to her empty mansion. Her assistant had quit, her fiancé hadn't visited once, and the world she'd built suddenly felt meaningless. When the hospital social worker mentioned a small-town caretaker service run by a local single dad, she hesitated, then agreed. That's how Evelyn Hart, the most powerful woman in the city, ended up being cared for by Ryan Blake in a tiny countryside home. At first, she hated it. The old wooden floors creaked, the heater barely worked, and the smell of oil from Ryan's garage clung to everything. "You live like this?" she muttered one day, disgusted. Ryan only smiled. "It's not much, but it's real. You'll get used to it." Over time, though, she did. The quiet mornings. The smell of coffee. The laughter of little Ben as he read her stories while she tried to move her legs again. For the first time, Evelyn felt something she'd forgotten long ago, peace. But every night, when pain returned and her body trembled, her fears crept back. The nightmares. The crash. The feeling of being trapped. One night, she woke up screaming, "Please don't hurt me. I can't walk." The same words from that freezing road. Ryan rushed in, kneeling beside her. Hey, it's okay. You're safe. No one's going to hurt you," he whispered, brushing her hair back. "You're not alone anymore." She looked at him, eyes full of tears. "Why are you doing this for me?" He hesitated, then said softly, "Because someone once helped me when I couldn't walk. My wife, before she died. I promised her I'd never stop helping people." Evelyn's heart broke a little at his words. For the first time in years, she didn't see herself as a CEO, just a woman trying to heal. Weeks turned into months. She slowly began to regain movement in her legs, each step painful but powerful. Ryan never left her side. When she took her first few shaky steps across the living room, Ben clapped and cheered. "You did it. You're walking," he shouted. Evelyn cried, uncontrolled tears she didn't even try to hide. Ryan caught her before she stumbled. "See," he whispered, smiling. "Told you I wouldn't let you fall." In that moment, something changed. The woman who once ruled a company from glass towers now stood on trembling legs in a humble home, held up by a man who had nothing, but gave her everything she'd forgotten how to feel, love. When Evelyn finally returned to her company, her employees froze, shocked to see her arrive without bodyguards, without arrogance, without the coldness that once defined her. She smiled at them. "I learned something while I was gone," she said in her speech. "Power doesn't come from fear or control. It comes from kindness, from people who lift you up when you can't stand." In the front row, Ryan and Ben watched proudly. After the event, she walked straight to Ryan. "So," she said with a grin, "still think I'll fall?" Ryan chuckled. "Not with me around." She looked at him with tears glistening in her eyes. "You didn't just help me walk again, Ryan, you helped me find my heart." He smiled. "And you helped me believe again." The city lights shimmered around them as snow began to fall, soft, silent, familiar. The same snow that once marked her pain now marked her healing, and as she leaned against him, whispering, "Thank you," she realized the truth, that the words she once said in fear, "Please don't hurt me, I can't walk," had led her not to pain, but to the man who taught her how to stand again, how to love again, and how to live.